Magic. Happy Monday, everyone. So today we're talking about ancestral communication, and I got a really wonderful message from someone who wanted to know where to start, how to begin, because they were a little afraid. They didn't know if they needed to be afraid of communicating with their ancestors. And part of the reason why is because some of his ancestors have a voodoo connection. And so I'm going to tackle this bit by bit and actually see if I can do it pretty quick. So here are a few things. When you are afraid of connecting with ancestors because you've heard they've had some kind of spiritual connection to a practice that maybe you don't know about, do the research and learn about it, plain and simple. Truthfully, you're being guided by your ancestors to learn about it so that you eliminate your fear. Knowledge is power, right? So one good book, though this doesn't cover voodoo, and I've talked about this book before, of Water and the Spirit, this is a great book for people, especially people of color, who are wanting to tap in to their ancestral past, but they've heard, oh, well, you know, so-and-so used to do this, and you're afraid of their powers. Well, this book is all about someone who was kidnapped from their family. They were indoctrinated with Christianity, and then they were told that their old practices were of the devil, of all these horrible things, and then they went back to their village to re-embrace that practice, which meant they were communicating with ancestors, which meant they were connecting to that history, richly informed and with confidence. So read this book, because this book helped me essentially not to be afraid of anything that might come up in my past as far as ancestral knowledge at all. This is a great book. All right, so that's done. Eliminate the fear by educating yourself, all right? Another thing that you want to do is learn how to astral travel and have out-of-body experiences. This is a great book to do that with, and I've talked about this before, but it has lots of techniques on how to get out of your body. What's great about this is that you begin to walk around and you can begin to call on different ancestors that you want to work with, okay? And they will come and meet with you. I have conversations with the dead all the time in my sleep, in my dream time. Not with the dead, really, because that's the thing. You'll find out that no one's really dead, but you'll have communication. Another thing to do is set up an altar. If you don't have a lot of space, then you set up a small altar. One thing that I really, really recommend is working with one ancestor at a time. Yes, they might all come at once the moment you begin to open up that communication, but working with one consciously at a time helps you kind of stay in a focus, that it doesn't become so overwhelming. So right now I'm working with only one ancestor at a time. Does that mean a whole bunch of people don't come to me? Of course they come. They totally come. But my focus is on that one ancestor. I chose that one ancestor because he had a very social way of being. He had the kind of personality that he would talk to anyone, chat it up with anyone. So of course I'm going to choose him because I do want to connect to all my other ancestors. Well, guess what? He's like the social butterfly. So he's almost like, for me, the gate opener. He's kind of like that. In voodoo culture, you have Elegba. You know, people say you have to talk to Elegba first before you talk to the other deities. Well, the ancestor I'm connecting with has that kind of feeling. So I work with him. And the funny thing is, a lot of the things that I do for his altar are very similar to what you would do for Elegba. So I create an altar. You create an altar not because you have to. You do not have to. You do it for your own consciousness, for your own human conscious here, to kind of create a visual symbol that you are in communication. So that's what I do it for, and I find that it's so wonderful and helpful for me. Now, if you don't have a lot of space, or if you're not quite sure, use a jar. And I got this tip from a fellow YouTuber, Ashira Star Goddess. I love her. I absolutely love her because she gives really great tips, and this is one of them. I think she got this from someone else. Hey, let's spread it all around. So put everything you want in a jar. So I just kind of got one thing from the altar, because actually this wasn't on the altar. This is what I usually give. But this is, this is whiskey, And that's because he liked to drink, so I often give him some liquor. And I think I also have playing cards on there because he liked to play cards. I have tobacco because he always had a pipe. I have, listen to the description if you guys know what I'm talking about. So there's a few other things that I put on there just to acknowledge his presence. The first time I put this on there, I fell asleep shortly afterwards and went on a ride. I woke up drunk with a hangover. It was the most bizarre experience because I did not have any of this, but I woke up drunk with a hangover. So now when I pour this, I pour just a little bit because the first time I poured like the whole thing and thinking, not really knowing what to do, and I woke up drunk with a hangover. So, you manage your spirits well. Okay, and I didn't drink it, but it was a cool experience, but this work is powerful, okay? And then candles. So you want to get candles. Candles, you can use any color that you want, what other colors you like. I like black candles, but I have purple candles. I use sometimes the taper ones. Ooh, this is good if you're wanting to maybe work with a female, possibly. If they're into that, they might like purple, they might like white, they might like black. So I have all kinds of candles. And it's nice to light a candle because you're lighting a candle essentially kind of opening up the way and sending energy out. None of these things are necessary to do, but I find for me, it's very helpful to do. Then the key thing that you need to do is you get a notebook, and through your dreams or through meditation, you write down everything you feel. So there's two ways that I communicate. I do meditation and of course also through sleep. So meditation, if you are adept and you can really clearly get clear communication through meditation, it's an awesome way to communicate with your ancestors. You just have to trust what's coming out. If you're able to clear your mind, if you're able to get into that quiet place, once you're in that quiet place, that's when you call forth that ancestor you want to communicate with, and then just start talking. Trust me, the conversation will just flow. There's absolutely nothing to be afraid of. I want that to be clear, and that's why I said just eliminate the fear right away. There's nothing to be afraid of. Voodoo or anything else, they're spiritual systems that are perfectly wonderful and useful. They were useful for the people, and there's a reason why it existed. The reason why people are afraid of it is because they're caught up in being indoctrinated by other people saying that it's bad because they're wanting your spiritual power, okay? Plain and simple. Anytime I give you an image of me, and if I give you an image of me, okay, and then I tell you that that what you're doing is bad, but you should worship something that looks like me, I just want your spiritual power. That's all I want. I want you to put all your devotion into me. That's all I want. Okay, so I want you to really think about what voodoo is about, the deities that it's associated with. They all look like the people who are practicing those spiritual systems. Okay, pay attention to what's really about to eliminate that fear, and then understand that we are powerful beings. We have energy coming through us. We have all these things. So when we connect to those powerful ancestors, imagine what kind of information is going to open up to us. Okay, so if we have any other questions, please feel free to ask me. But I communicate in very simple ways. It's just starting up a conversation. If you don't know how to have a conversation with someone, then I would say go to the library and get a book of saying how to strike up a conversation. That will help you too, because that's the only thing that's keeping you from communicating with your ancestors after you tried all these other things. Okay, have fun, experiment, and realize they're just spirits that are connected to you, and they're always guiding you. What you need to do is understand that you can become aware of it and really strike up some wonderful conversations. All right? Okay, and you learn so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy, happy Monday, and I hope these tips helped everyone who's watching. Okay, bye-bye. Whew. Magic.